So a few days ago, I made a list of the top 10 best release characters of 2022. If you don't want to watch that video, this was the conclusion I came out with at the end. 2022 was a crazy year for releases. We got so many great characters that the list was really hard to put together. Really, ranking the characters was really tough. Now imagine how tough it would be to rank the top 10 worst characters of 2022, considering how many great characters we got. It should be, even worse, we don't even get that many characters. Like, for a gacha game, only this many characters releasing in a whole year isn't really that much compared to other like anime gacha games. Especially some games get like hundreds of characters a year. So yeah, let's put this together. And again, this was pretty tough, but before that, I think GamerStop's releasing a new flavor today, the Blowhole Blast. If you want to cop it, link in the description. And let's get to the list. Let me adjust this better. Again, very tough list. I already have it, made up, but I don't even have honorable mentions because really, the bottom of the list is already characters that I kind of wish I didn't put on a top 10 worst. But top 10 worst just means also top 10 least good, right? So the bottom there, the 8 to 10, are mostly just characters that aren't great, but not necessarily terrible. So let's start with Melascula. I think she's the 10th worst character that released this year. The only thing keeping her from being like number 5 to 7 or 2 to 4 is that she actually has a use. Like, on dogs, you can have her be an anti-ignite unit for you. That's the only thing she's actually really good for. Her original purpose, I guess, was to be like a demon buffer. Wasn't really all that great, but she has a purpose, so I didn't want to put her too high on the list, but she's not a character I would consider to be that good either. But she has her own spot. Number 9, so the way I'm considering this, right, is how bad were they at release, and also how well have they aged. And I think how well have they aged is a really big one, because if not, the end would be sliding up here. Like, if you compare, like, if you think about how bad this the end was at launch, she really was bad. But she aged really well because of Tarmiel Link, so she's not even on the list. So I think that's a good comparison. And that's why I'm saying this, because next on the list is Elaine. Elaine was a great character. But with the developments of the meta, and really there only being one character for her, Festival King, it really limits how good she can be. So I think, although she's not terrible, she isn't great either. As a character that released, I think, towards the beginning of the year to complement a character that released at the end of the previous year, she was a decent release. But as time has gone on, it really has shown that, relying on fairies isn't great because not many fairies release. After her, as number 8, I have Shuna, another character that when she released, she was actually pretty good, not the best, but as time has gone on, also aged pretty poorly. Just the damage reduction passive isn't the greatest when it comes down to it. When you're thinking of the unknown team now, you're thinking of, the stats, right? The AoEs as well. Either you're pairing with like Festival Merlin, Philo, so you gotta have those AoEs, which she doesn't provide. Or you're thinking about how like super high stats with Echidna, Nanashi's Holy Relic. This character just doesn't fit in, but at launch, she was pretty good. Just completely irrelevant now. So I think that this is a good spot for her. Right after her is another irrelevant character that was pretty decent at launch, Mono. I think Mono and Shuna were like neck and neck for me, but I chose to put Mono above Shuna, meaning she's a little bit worse. It's just Mono has so much potential. And the thing is that this character, like as I'm recording this, I just recorded the video on the patch notes of a new Mono with the same name as this one. So not only this character is about to be replaced straight up, the worst thing is that I was really hoping for a Holy Relic for this character. But the chances are that the Holy Relic that this character is going to get will not actually be good for her, and instead be good for the new Mono. This happens all the time. Think about the character we just talked about, Elaine. Elaine has 2 of the same character, but here's the thing. This Elaine got a relic that makes sense with what she does. but doesn't make sense with this one. And I think there's a possibility that that will happen. We don't know, but for the time I'm recording this video, this character is just really not good, and she has so much potential. She just needs a really good Holy Relic, which is kind of annoying. So after her as number 6, I have a more recent character that's also a catastrophe. Where is she? Valenti. Oh, Valenti. She's just not good. And as the list progresses, the characters just get worse and worse, right? She's just bad. It's really sad because I see the potential in this character as well. Her Holy Relic just isn't good, so there's no, like, you know, for this mono, there's the potential of a Holy Relic really helping her. There is that. But this character already has a Holy Relic, so there's not much else to look forward to when it comes down to any future buffs, because Grand Cross doesn't buff characters, right? Until, you know, a meta where this character becomes relevant, here's where I'll put her. But again, things can change. She's a character that could change with the meta. It's just right now she's unrunnable. And even against characters that her passive works, so, you know, when you're not facing Escanor, her passive just seems to not do enough to be warranted either way. So right after her, another recent character. We got two back-to-back trash characters for this Christmas. This new Liz, I forgot what cards she actually has. I just remember her passive. This Liz has such a laughably terrible passive. It's embarrassing considering both of the other Liz's we got were also on Christmas, by the way. But the green Liz, which is the best one, is in SSR tickets and was free. And then the red Liz is, I mean, you don't need her or anything, but, you know, she's good for, like, the essay coin dungeon and stuff. This Liz has no purpose in the game. Like, her 20% basic stats if your crit defense is 100% or higher, and she has to be in the front as a terrible character with a stun and a rupture card. Just laughably terrible. I actually should have put her higher. But when we're talking about the next few characters, it becomes worse. This Meliodas is just terrible. I hate Nanashi's passive. I've been using Nanashi a lot, right? Because, you know, he just got a Holy Relic, a really good Holy Relic. And, you know, I'm using him a lot. I just use him for Aftalia and stuff like that. I hate his passive so much because it's RNG. You know, the cards, the amount of cards you get for a specific character is, in fact, RNG. I hate RNG. I like being consistent. And this character is all about RNG, and the buff isn't even that good. Now, actually, I'm reconsidering. She's worse than him. She's worse because he can be using the back. Like, he only gives 20%. No, but she's consistent. Like, if you bring a character with 100% crit defense or whatever, they get a 20. For his, it's kind of random. It's really tough. These two are, like, both terrible. And they both give 20% basic stats. The biggest difference, really, is that this Meliodas... I mean, they both can get Holy Relics. These two characters don't have relics. It will depend on who gets a better relic. But is Meliodas ever going to get a relic? It seems like not. They're taking so long to release character relics now these days. Right, this new mono got a new version and didn't get a relic for it. So, I don't know. These two are like neck and neck for me. I'll put Meli above because Meli is more disappointing. It's a Meliodas, goddammit. He should be good, right? After I have Fake Liz. I was actually going to put Fake Liz number 1. So Fake Liz, right? If you don't know what this character does, I would not be shocked. No, her name is not Liz. I was going to put Fake Liz straight up Elat. She was supposed to be like a guild boss buffer, or like a unit designed specifically to only be used on guild boss, right? And here's the thing, she was used for like a week, and then no one ever used her again, because here's the thing, she doesn't make for the strategies. Like what she does doesn't really give you points to the point where it's worth using her. So she was a character designed specifically for one activity. Honestly, if her passive, right? So in Knighthood increases all allies with defense stats, blah blah blah. If this whole thing cut off the in Knighthood, it was just straight up. She did this anywhere in the game. This long ass passive, she would be a great unit. Like, I wouldn't say she would be top 10 best units in the game or anything, like, not even close, but she would be a usable character that people would actually unironically run from time to time, right? And no, they specifically designed her for one activity. People used her for like a week or two, and then I've never seen her in the top of the charts again. Just embarrassing. Embarrassing. And they don't bother buffing characters like that, which really pisses me off, because if you're a guild boss only player, God forbid, and you pulled for this character thinking she would be good for the one thing you like doing in the game, and she was, and then she just falls off super hard, that's tough. That's tough. Now number 2 is this Red Hawk. And it's sad because, like, number 1 and 2 were like free characters. This Hawk is just also an embarrassingly bad character, because Green Hawk, when he came out, it was kind of a gag unit, right? He was really good in PvE during celebrations, and that was his whole gimmick. Kind of a gag unit that we got, like, you know, for anniversary, and it was kind of cool. This Hawk, though, he's just bad. Like, he's just bad. There's nothing about it. Like, there's nothing going on for this guy. He's just straight up bad. I don't even know. He's just bad. And I'll just pull the I'll just pull the curtain and just it's Grimoire. Grimoire is number 1. He's the worst character of 2022, and it's sad because he shouldn't even be on this list. If he didn't get nerfed, he would be. Would he be on the top 10 best characters of 2022? I don't think he would be. Maybe he would be an honorable mention, but I still think for no reason, right? They nerfed Grimoire. And it's sad because he was a great unit. Great unit. Everyone got him for free. Everyone was happy with his performance. It was like, Grimoire is a good unit. Unbelievable. First time ever a Grimoire is good, right? But they couldn't have us have a good unit that's free again, right? Back in the day, we used to get good free units. Not anymore. Not anymore. So they just nerfed him. And we got good compensation for it, you know, but it is what it is. This character used to be fun, and then now he is by far and away the worst character they released last year, because he is just irredeemably bad. There is nothing good about this character. He has nothing. He's worse than Hawk. He is worse than this Hawk. He is worse than this unit. He just genuinely has nothing going for him. I would say he's the worst character that released this and last year. What was the worst character that released last year? Give me a second. Holy shit, 2021 was rough. Look at these characters. Oh my god. Like, I'm talking about how good 2022 was. Like, look at these. Look at the bottom here. Mono is a usable character. All these 4 characters are usable. Like, even she's usable, kind of. She's kind of bad, but 2021, oh my god, I'm gonna throw up. Look at these horrible characters. I forgot how bad some of these characters were. Yeah. I think Grimoire is worse than Hawk and Oslo. It's just Grimoire has nothing going for him. Anyways, that's my list. Let me know what your list would be. And try your best, because this list is hard. It really is. Any unit that you can think of that released this year has a purpose, which is crazy, because look at 2021. Wow, 2021 was just terrible. Holy shit.